Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Every single day when I wake up, apart from being extremely grateful immediately that I'm awake, I start musing with, in a way, two essences. So just bear with me. So I passionately believe that there is something far more than just our physical existence. And I've had very, very extraordinary experiences all my life that has just proven to me that we are not just our physical bodies. So it's utterly maddening that the light is shining in my eyes. Anyway, never mind. Let me see if anyway. I'm going to try not to interrupt myself. So I wake up and I'm grateful, and I speak to what I'm very comfortable calling God. And God to me is way beyond my understanding even of human. I think God is energy and love and power way beyond my understanding. And yet I know that essence, that beingness, the oneness, can actually take the form of something that I can connect to and communicate with as if he, she, it was and is human. So the reason why I like the stories of Christ, whether you believe in the actuality or not, is because Christ metaphysically means the truth and the way. And Taoism that I was trained in was also, the Tao means the way. So early Christianity was called the way. And I think if you look into any kind of real deep philosophy or deep spiritual truths or deep internal religions, they are all saying the same thing, which is that we are not just physical, and we can have a human experience that begins to be exposed to our spirituality. So first thing in the morning I talk to God, and then I also check in with myself and I find out how I am. Now, what I want to do today is talk about the law of opposites, because I think that there is huge confusion about it. And I'm going to give you a really good example. So, on the one hand, I personally check in with myself. I was born with multiple challenges, medical challenges, and I live with spinal compressions and bone growths and metalwork. By the privilege of the metalwork, I'm still able to walk. And so the least I owe myself every morning is a check-in. And I go, okay, so what do you need today, Catherine? So I need to focus on myself. I need to check in. Now, initially, when I heard about the law of what you focus on is what you get, that was deeply confusing, because I thought, well, I've got to focus on how I am, which is true. But I also then need to change the subject. So to me, the law of opposites is this incredible paradox of we do need to focus on ourselves. We do need to check in on ourselves on the one hand. And then on the other hand, we need to change the subject. So most of the time I attempt, unless my experiences can be of value to other people, I attempt not to complain. I attempt not to focus on how challenging my days can be. And I attempt to focus much more on what I call the spiritual realm. So I know a reality that I engage with, and therefore it becomes a reality, is that there is an angelic force around us. And this is not from me, and I wish I could tell you who it was from, but someone described it absolutely beautifully as there's job centres down here on earth, but there's also job centres in the heavenly realm and in different matrix, and there are angels that are wanting to be used, that have gone out of this physicality and out of this matrix, and they're literally lining up at the job centre and wanting us to ask for their help. So there's a lovely, lovely woman out there, and she talks to the angels the whole time. I think it's probably her idea that with every single job that she knows she can't handle, from cake making to babysitting to all sorts of stuff in her very full and busy life, she just goes to the job centre in the heavenly realm, i.e. in her imagination, and she asks for help. So let's just recap this. If you are confused about the law of opposites, and if you are confused about what you focus on is what you get, I hope I'm being clear about this. I think the law of opposites actually goes in conjunction with what you focus on is what you get, because it's the paradox of you do need to check in, for instance, with yourself. You do need to focus on yourself, and then you need to change the subject. So the law of opposites actually, which I'll go into at another point, but in a sense, when I, for instance, know I'm in a lot of physical pain, I don't have to get stuck there, and I don't have to just focus on that. I have to pay attention to it, and then I have to decide what I can do about it. I can ask for help from even the heavenly realm, and I can say, please take this from me, or please help me to surrender to it, or please help me know what I can do to improve upon it. And then I can actually use the power of my imagination to think with creativity, which I've been given, and most of us actually have, even if we think we haven't. I can go, well, what's the opposite of pain? So I can immediately go to, for instance, listening to some lovely music, or I can do a few jobs that are making me feel a little bit tense. They're not making me feel tense, I'm feeling tense about these jobs. So do you see, I can do exactly the opposite of what the pain is about. Please tell me if this is making sense to you, because I myself was incredibly confused about it, and I think it needs practice. And I think when we hear other people talk, they don't necessarily emphasize that just as you get the hang of one thing, the exact opposite will also equally be true. Take huge care, and I've really enjoyed sharing how I wake up in the mornings, because I do check in with myself and I check in with God, and then I have a magical, magical day no matter what is happening. Take care, lots of love.